Amid the frenzy of the transfer portal, UConn quietly added key pieces. How big could the impact be?
Prime Field!
Welcome to Prime Field. 12 national championships, the winningest coach in college basketball history. 4 decades of steady ascension from a single winning season to a national standard. This is the story of Geno Auriemma's doctrine. And a central question it now faces. How does a leader whose program was built on radical honesty and player development adapt when the rules of roster construction change? The transfer portal. A cultural shift. The departure of Paige Beckers to the WNBA. The arrival of targeted transfers. The 2025-26 season will test a long-proven model. This film examines the doctrine, the doubt, the pivot, and the stakes. It begins with principles that shaped a dynasty. Then it follows the changes that may define its next chapter. Geno Auriemma's program rests on a concise set of management practices. They are direct, they are disciplined, they are public. At the center is radical honesty. Tell it like it is. No euphemisms, no palliation. This clarity is framed as a necessary tool for trust. Auriemma argues that vague answers corrode credibility. He prefers truth over comfort. A second tenet is the establishment of a common goal. Strategic objectives are defined clearly. Every player is asked to align with the collective mission. Individual rewards are permitted, but only insofar as they serve the team. Auriemma also delegates authority. Longtime associate head coach Chris Daly operates with autonomy. Hires are made to fill gaps in Geno's capabilities. The operating principle: give responsibility and expect execution. Finally, recruiting stresses character as much as talent. Championship people are unselfish, coachable, and team-oriented. Talent is a prerequisite. Temperamental fit is the decisive variable. These tenets produce measurable outcomes: 12 NCAA championships, 24 Final Four appearances, and sustained winning streaks. The doctrine is both a coaching manual and a cultural contract. From here, that contract will be tested by forces outside the program. The next chapter explains why. The transfer portal arrived and disrupted accepted patterns. Auriemma has been vocal in his skepticism. He has described the portal as a mess and insanity. He has framed it as a symptom of entitlement. His critique is procedural and cultural. Procedurally, Auriemma objects to the timing and scale. Portal activity during postseason play struck him as counterintuitive. Culturally, he sees too many external voices influencing players, producing decisions that may not serve long-term interests. When evaluating transfers, he asks a pointed opening question: what's wrong with you? It is not a rhetorical provocation, it is a vetting tool. The question forces candidates to explain why they left a successful situation. If the explanation is insufficient, the process stops. The stance is consistent with a broader skepticism. Transfers can help, but they must meet a narrow threshold of fit and motive. The portal, as Auriemma frames it, creates noise. His response is a deliberate filter. Despite public criticism, the program has used the portal selectively. The pattern is clear. When a transfer addresses a specific need and fits the culture, UConn has acted. The results show a pragmatic flexibility. Recent examples include Caitlin Chen, who transferred from Princeton and started at point guard on the 2025 championship team. Lou Lopez-Seneschal arrived and became a primary scoring option. Dorka Jahash provided interior impact after transferring from Ohio State. Avina Westbrook supplied perimeter scoring after her move from Tennessee. These integrations were not indiscriminate. Each arrival filled a role. Each passed cultural and performance tests. The lesson is that Auriemma's public skepticism did not preclude targeted adaptation. It merely narrowed the terms of engagement. The post-2025 roster constitutes a marked hybrid. The program returns key starters, sophomore Sarah Strong, AZ Fudd, and redshirt Jana El-Alfi, while managing a full 15-player roster for the first time since 1998 and 99. 5 new players join the group. 2 are portal acquisitions: senior forward Serah Williams from Wisconsin and sophomore guard Kaylee Heckel from USC. This configuration departs from previous UConn norms. Historically, the program favored long-term development of high school recruits. The new mix blends homegrown prospects with experienced transfers. Auriemma has acknowledged the difficulty. He has stated that he dreads the integration process, anticipating that blending veteran transfers into a demanding system will be challenging. That admission underscores the practical complexity behind a strategic choice. This chapter raises a precise operational question. Can strict culture and accelerated integration coexist? The answer depends on how the program manages minutes, roles, and expectations. Serah Williams stands as the clearest example of the new approach. A 6'4" forward, Williams entered the portal after 3 seasons at Wisconsin. Her production there was substantial: 19.2 points per game, 9.8 rebounds, and 2.3 blocks in her final season. She ranked among the Big Ten's top scorers and rebounders. Her field goal efficiency measured near 49.3%. Her accolades include multiple All-Big Ten selections and conference defensive honors. Those credentials made her a highly sought transfer. She chose UConn over several other programs. The immediate response was significant. ESPN adjusted preseason rankings and moved UConn to the number 1 spot for 2025-26, explicitly citing Williams' addition. In an early exhibition, Williams scored 15 points on 5 for 7 shooting in under 18 minutes, a short sample that demonstrated on-court fit. This case demonstrates the portal's strategic value. A single acquisition altered external evaluations of a roster's championship prospects. It also illustrates the integration challenge: how to incorporate a veteran, high-usage front-court player into a program premised on role clarity and team-first principles. The combination of a large roster, turnover, and injury recovery creates a complex management problem. Returning veterans face their own tests. AZ Fudd and Caroline Ducharme are navigating injury comebacks. New arrivals must assimilate to a system that demands discipline and selflessness. Contrast provides the context. The men's program under Dan Hurley has engaged differently with the portal, showing more churn. The women's program's selective approach now appears more hybrid than isolationist. That distinction matters. Integration requires aligning expectations, distributing minutes, and preserving a team-first ethos. The opportunity is pragmatic. A successful hybrid model allows the program to reload with proven talent instead of rebuilding through freshman classes alone. That capability short-circuits traditional rebuild cycles after elite departures. It preserves competitiveness while the program continues to develop its own prospects. The risk is cultural dilution. If role clarity or internal accountability erodes, performance may follow. The management task is therefore both tactical and cultural. Geno Auriemma's record is established by measurable outcomes. The doctrine produced championships, Final Four appearances, and a coaching legacy that reshaped women's basketball. The question before the program is not whether the doctrine worked in the past. It is whether the doctrine can adapt to structural change in the present. The 2025-26 roster offers a test case. It couples established tenets: honesty, shared purpose, and character-driven recruitment with selective portal acquisitions designed to address immediate needs. If integration succeeds, the model will reinforce an argument that disciplined leadership can absorb external change while preserving core identity. If integration fails, it will illustrate the limits of rapid cultural assimilation under high expectations. Either outcome will shape Geno Auriemma's ongoing legacy. His career to date is defined by sustained operational rigor. The next chapter is an adaptation test, one that will determine whether a dynasty sustained by coaching doctrine can maintain its trajectory in a new institutional environment.
Prime Field